In this video, we'll take a look at defining and training neural networks in Keras combined with TensorFlow, building a multi-layer perceptron in raw TensorFlow, and then we'll turn around and build the exact same thing in Keras and compare the results. Alright, here's a multi-layer perceptron in raw TensorFlow. A little bit of math we'll show through, and we'll end up making our own training loop. And once you see how much boilerplate's involved here, you'll really appreciate the Keras solution. Same sets of parameters as before, with the 28 by 28 image, 256 hidden layers, 10 output classes, batch size learning rates we've been seeing all along. TensorFlow has its own MNIST digit importer, and it'll automatically come back with one hot encoding. So we'll go past these warnings because this is a little bit of deprecated code, but it still works. And we'll get to the point where we set up our input graph. So our X is inputs, our number of inputs, and our Y is our output for our number of outputs. And this is where we're going to be feeding our input and output data, our images and our labels. And then we're actually going to set up the variables. These are the parts we actually learn. We have our weights and our biases in the network style here. So we have H1 and H2 and out. These are our weights, and we're going to initialize them as random normals, and then we have our biases and our output. So we have B1, B2, and out. So we have these two sets of weights and two sets of biases. And now we're going to build up the actual formula with a ReLU activation. We're going to add together here, there's the math multiplication of the X and the weights by the biases. And then the second layer is the same kind of thing going on, math multiplication of the layer and the weights and the biases. And then finally the output layer takes the final layer, layer 2, times the weights multiplied and then adds the biases, and that's what we get as our output. And now here's the standard formula, our loss function. We're going to reduce the mean over the softmax cross entropy with logits, which is a very long name, but what this really does is computing the cross-max cross entropy for the individual class labels for the output layer. We're going to use the gradient descent optimizer with our learning rate, and we're going to go to minimize the loss, and we're going to flow that through. Now here's the cookbook part that you do every time when you do raw TensorFlow. You initialize the variables, you build a session, and then you pull through batches of X's and Y's. These are images and labels, updating loss and updating the variables with the optimizer itself. So you can actually see the code running through and the cost and the accuracy actually running up below. So for each epoch you loop through, you get the batch by the batch size. You actually run the session with the feed dictionary with a little batch of X's images, a little batch of Y's the labels. You actually get the correct predictions and you actually see how accurate it is and print out the accuracy. Again, this is mostly for just the education value of it, to actually see how much effort it is to use TensorFlow raw by itself. In practice, it's not likely you'd be doing things this way. You're almost certainly going to be using Keras, which we'll take a look at now. Alright, now here's the multi-layer perceptron solution in Keras, and this is much simpler. In general, I'd recommend using Keras as a great getting started tool. So same parameters as before, hidden layers 256, 10 outputs, 64 batch size, 10 loops, and a learning rate of 0.01. Now we're going to bring in the MNIST digits. We've done this a few times already, so this should be old hat. We load the data up, downloads from the internet. We need to scale the images by the max value, again, to get them on the range 0 to 1. And we're going to be expanding those dimensions with the -1, getting in like the additional layer for the color channel. In this case, it's the black and white color channel. And we're going to move on to our model. We're going to use sequential, which is actually like a simple layer cake. This is a simplifying trick I do here to get the input shape from the very first image sample, and then that shape I use as the input shape for my model as I roll along. So really simple, 2 layers, dense in the number of hidden, twice with the ReLU activation with the input shape. We flatten it out, and then we run softmax for our final output. And then we take a look at the model summary, which is a great way to debug and see what you have going on. And you can see we end up with like 2 million parameters, and we train it and go from there. We bring in the optimizer of stochastic gradient descent with our learning rate, and our loss function is categorical cross entropy. You can actually in Keras do these by string name, or you can actually do them by class or code, as I did here, and I'm just bringing them in as code to show you a different way. Compile the model as always, and then fit the model with the training images, training labels, batch size, and the validation data, and then we run our training loop below, and you can actually see the accuracy come up and the loss come down. Now that is a simple way to do machine learning. Now that we've seen MXNet and TensorFlow and Gluon and Keras, in the next video we'll compare the two frameworks and comment on their effects.